Where today we're jumping into Mindhunter Season 1, Episode 4. So I started seeing comments all over the place. Where's Mindhunter? Where's Mindhunter? So you know what sometimes, I'm gonna be really honest with you guys, because you guys, you know. And by the way, I just ate something super hot, so like I'm sweating, although it's like freezing outside. So if you see me sweating, guys, it's not my fault. I decided to eat curry and I am like burning up inside. But what's really funny is when people do that sometimes, when people comment about other shows, for 1.5 seconds, I'm like this. I get like a little bit upset. But then I actually turn that frown upside down. And I get like actually really happy, because that means you guys really do love my content. You love watching my reactions and you just want to see your shows and me react to it. And I actually get overwhelmed, and then I get like, I start tearing up, because it's like I work really hard to do this stuff and you guys seem to enjoy it, and it makes me want to keep doing it more and more and more. So we are back. If you see Mindhunters, I'm going to continue to try to, you know, keep bringing Mindhunters and wrap up the season. I mean, we're almost halfway there. And it then only has one other season. And if once we're wrapping up Season 1, if the vast majority want us to continue to Season 2, which I don't know how many episodes Season 2 has. It has 9 episodes, so it's even shorter. I feel like we're going to do that as well, just to wrap up Mindhunters. Or Mindhunter. I always add an S to every title I watch of a show. But regardless, thank you guys once again for shouting out your shows. Please, you know what? Continue doing it. Tag me onto shows. We are going to be getting another show that people have been asking me to get back into was I forgot, the one with David Tennant. And all we know is that he threw the lady down in the basement and locked the door. And that was the last time I seen that. But no, I actually really do enjoy that. The next episode, I looked at the timestamp of that episode and it was extremely long for the days that I was filming. So I was like, oh, so that's really the gist of why sometimes I push certain shows to the side, because of the length of it, and I don't have that much time in a day. It's already the day's almost over and I'm just starting. The filming process and the editing process is even worse. But regardless, guys, I don't know where we were in the last episode of the show, so there's that. I don't have a recap. I just wanted to tell you about my life. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm ready to jump into this, guys. As always, it's going to be a full reaction for my second and third tier here on the YouTube platform, as well as my other platform, Patreon. So guys, please sign into one of those platforms and help support the channel today. Please like and share this content, guys. The more interaction I see on these reactions, the more people that come onto the reactions and view it, the more of the episodes I push out. That's how my mindset works, because I keep seeing like people comment under Mindhunter and I'll be like, oh, I gotta do Mindhunter. People liking Mindhunter, people sharing Mindhunter. It brings people who love this show here on this channel, and honestly their constant interaction with these shows is what helps me as a content creator, and it's me keeping it honest to keep pushing out more episodes. So the more interaction I see, it blows up on my phone and I read the beautiful comments you guys write, and then I will go, I need another episode. So please help me out, guys. I love you so much. With that being said, let's jump into Mindhunter and find out exactly what Mindhunter has got to give. Ooh, I like that. Oh, this creepy guy. Ooh, what is this guy about?
Oh, I didn't realize you were still in the house.
I'm sorry to startle you. I think you need much beyond door and window sensors. I included in the cost 3 keypads.
Would you ever just sell the stickers for the windows and a sign for the front lawn?
Signs come with the sensors, I'm afraid.
Actually, I've heard people doing that before. They get the sticker and the sign, that's it. He is so hot.
To Bristol, Falls Church, Virginia. Victims, all women, raped and murdered.
Virginia State Penitentiary. Monty Ralph Rissell.
Why don't you have a seat?
Monty?
Hey, you guys need me for any of this? No, thank you. We'd prefer to talk with you alone. We're from the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Behavioral Science Unit.
Scientists?
Interviewing men like you.
Men like me. You think this might help?
Help with what?
Find a cure. I think I could get some Big Red.
Big Red.
The gum.
Pop. You know, like soda?
For starters, how did you choose your victims?
Victims? That doesn't sound good. You really think you can get me some Big Red?
Look at me, Monty. Let's stay on track. You want to diddle around? We'll walk out of here. Have a nice, leisurely lunch, whatever the fuck we want. What's the rest of your day look like? Can't understand how someone could fuck up their life so completely before he's barely old enough to vote.
First got into trouble at 14. They sent me to Florida. I had 4 girls while I was under observation. They let me out. I come back up here, get myself a job, a girlfriend. You know, we keep in touch, we write. We're taping it, man.
Taking notes helps with transcription.
They keep checking in or they send me back.
But you've got yourself a girlfriend.
Do I, though? She tells me in so many words she wants to ball other guys. What do you know? There she is, making out with some dork.
What can you do?
You can't live with them. And I'm smoking and thinking and driving and drinking. I'm back at my apartment. In the parking lot. Girl on her own, maybe 20, 25. The idea of doing it pops in your head like a sneeze. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh yeah, give it to me, baby. I want it. I'm so horny. I'm trying to rape her, but she won't shut up. She's stronger than me, but I'm fast. I catch up to her. I get her in a headlock. Whole thing is fucking chaos. I smash her head against a rock, hold her underwater, and that's that. I wanted to cool her off.
Do you think, pardon me, it would have ended differently if she hadn't done...
Wasn't what? A fucking prostitute? Yeah, could be. Second time, this blonde chick, she will not stop with the questions. Planning to deal. Why me?
Is that why you stabbed her?
Had to. Shut the fuck up.
Then you drove around for hours in her car.
The third girl, you could say I had perfected the routine. I stabbed her so many times. Tells me her daddy's dying. Cancer. My brother had cancer.
You understand?
Cancer, it's a bitch, man. I let her go.
Oh, he's so nice.
It's a weird feeling, man.
What's a weird feeling, Monty?
Showing mercy.
What? Come on, kid.
Had enough science for one day. Throat's a little dry.
He's very aggressive. It's not gonna work out, sir.
Maybe next time you should be careful.
Holden.
I didn't say anything.
Let's move on.
I wasn't going to reprimand you.
I hope not. Johnny Rissell danced around a bunch of psychiatrists when he was a kid. Did the same thing when he was on parole. Why do we think he's suddenly being honest with us?
But we don't think he's being completely honest. We just need to extract what's useful and discard the rest.
You okay? What were you doing? 80? 100?
You turned without looking. The law, buddy.
The law? The law? No. Here's the fucking law, pal.
That scared me.
You got a lot going on. It's a lot of pressure. But let me talk to Bill and I'll call you back. It's fine. As soon as class is over, she'll come down. I'm a little ticked off. I mean, I get the Debbie doesn't want to do all that driving. But we have a situation here. I'm asking her for help. Why am I so upset?
Maybe because you can't drop everything when you call.
You want to call Nancy? Are you okay?
I didn't see it coming, Holden. You could have been killed. And I didn't see it coming. It's one thing if it's the job, but some fucking pinto comes shooting out of nowhere. You know, we adopted a boy 3 years ago. We can't have kids of our own. So, it's not going well. At first I thought he was just quiet. You know, a quiet baby. He can speak. He just won't. I feel like we're failing him somehow. It's supposed to be this great thing, having a son.
God, Bill, I'm sorry to hear that.
When the car was spinning out, you have no idea what I'm trying to say to you.
Not exactly.
It's nothing. It's fine.
Seriously, Bill.
Call Debbie.
So there are 2 triggers, one right after the other for Rissell. Stressors. Let's make that our term of art. So the girlfriend writes him a Dear John letter, and he...
Whistle cracks.
He stalks her like a hunter.
Not like a hunter. He doesn't kill the girlfriend. He only watches her with her new beau.
First victim's compliance that just kind of pushes him over the edge.
So he kills the first one because she likes it, or pretends to?
The whole thing is just fucking chaos.
He needed to reassert control.
Exactly. I mean, it may be that they can't change the ultimate outcome, but they can affect when and how it happens.
Your girlfriend dumps you, you're trying to be intimate with someone and it goes wrong, but it seems like Rissel just couldn't hack life.
Well, what else is a criminal except somebody who can't function in society?
I get the sense that reductive is your worst insult.
Not at all. I meant to say that you were right. They were being intimate with a woman, and they sensed that she wasn't enjoying herself.
Just wanted to have a good time.
But when Rissel sensed that his victim was enjoying herself, it turned him into a murderer.
Headed to Altoona for road school. We'll try and see Rissel again when we get back.
What is it? A question of money, of institutional rigidity, scheduling what?
All of the above.
Give your father a hug and say goodbye.
Damn. Out for the world to see?
All yours.
So you're not from the East Coast originally?
Sorry, I missed that. I'm a little deaf.
I was just asking if you consider yourself an East Coaster. Born in Wellington, South Kansas, you're the youngest of 3 kids, and your parents divorced when you were 7.
My brother and sister were around, but it was always on me when things went bad. Dragged us out to Sacramento.
You wanted to stay in Kansas?
I'll be with my real father, you bet. But he wanted me there either.
Did your mother say she didn't want you there?
Well, I always want to do that after. Crush the can.
It feels good.
Mom wanted to be with Hank. Hank didn't want to raise somebody else's kids, so he bought his shit. When I was 7, he bought me a gun.
Not a gun.
He bought you a gun?
BB gun. When I was 9, I shot my cousin in the ass with that gun. That made me stir the shot.
You kids were left all alone.
Hank broke the fucking thing over my head. So I burst my eardrum. Mom and Hank divorced when I was 12. That was kind of my doing. Mom somehow got him to send me to Florida. Thanks, Ma. I get back. I'm 17, living on my own, working double shifts at Pizza Hut. Nobody on this earth ever wanted me. Put that on your fucking tape. If only they'd let me stay with my dad, it'd all be different. Yeah, in the backyard, perfecting my recipe for barbecue. I'd have found my way.
So Rissel's the real victim here.
That's how he sees it, sure.
And we're giving him a shoulder to cry on.
We're not giving him a shoulder to cry on. We're using him.
3 pillars of criminal investigation. What? Why? Who? What happened?
We got one?
Look at him just standing there watching us. Bring up the nerve to approach.
I put the over-under at half a minute.
I'll definitely take under.
You guys mind if I bother you for a minute?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Everyone else does.
Never came home from her babysitting job. 4 days later, we find her in the dump on Wapsanonoc Mountain.
She was sitting like this at the dump for 4 days?
Well, no. And she had been sitting at the dump the whole 4 days. We'd see more insect infestation and animal trauma on the corpse. Her breasts. They were, I guess you'd say, amputated. Both her eyes, broke her jaw, multiple stab wounds. You can see kind of frogged her legs out there. Sorry. We don't get this kind of thing. It's hard.
Take your time.
There was an incision from her vagina to her anus.
The family local?
Parents upstate, fiance in town. A peeping Tom, sure. But something like this, it doesn't make sense. What happened to Beverly has to be an outsider. Draped over the ironing board here. Is that human hair? The ironing board, you take that as well? I mean, we dusted it for fingerprints and everything, but... But you do think that the unsub scalped Beverly and then draped it over the ironing board? Case, we have a dead body missing a chunk of hair, and we have a big chunk of hair nearby, so maybe we can go out on a limb and assume...
It's not any kind of a criticism. We're just trying to catch up. Am I right, Agent Ford? May ask some obvious questions, and maybe even a few you haven't thought of. But it's not a contest or a competition. We're all on the same side.
Curious why you're cutting this guy so much slack.
He's never seen this kind of thing before. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. Maybe a little.
This is where your focus should be. Not on the crime scene, not on the corpse. What did the killer see in her? We've learned that this is a crucial detail, and not the only one.
Probably around Beverly's age. A killer will usually choose someone smaller and weaker than himself.
He's a loner. Coroner's report said Beverly was killed and then butchered. Isn't that what hunters do? These men like to explore the fantasy first. Bondage pornography, hardcore material. Their man is an outsider, probably a drifter. Most likely, he'll move on from here and kill again. The killer thought of Beverly Jean as just another piece of trash.
A stranger passing through town. All that pretty hair caught his eye. He needed to possess it, then destroy it.
Benjamin was still in shock. You gotta take all that into account.
And let's try to get him cold. Make some excuse when you call.
As soon as Benjamin gets back into town.
Back into town?
You let the fiancé leave?
He'll be with family at times like this. He'll be back soon. I'll vouch for that.
Where was the body found? Up here to the left. Here's the ironing board.
Right. See why I went easy on the fiancé. Ugly end for someone you just proposed to.
Maybe you felt trapped.
By a pretty young blonde?
Sweet process is good news. Sometimes hit these killers the wrong way.
Welder, Alvin Moran out taking his dog for a hike.
At the dump?
You have an alibi?
Sometimes the killer will insinuate himself into the investigation.
Even report his own crime?
This cop, this was his first day.
Remember me, Mr. Moran? These men from the FBI would like to talk to you. That all right?
How'd you happen to find yourself at the dump?
Hey, Bob's not enough. Get up there a few times a week to take the dog for a walk.
Still not clear how that puts you at the dump. See any sign of a hiking trail out by the dump, Bill?
On the other side of the railroad track up the hill.
But if there's no clear view from the dump to the trail...
Are you really FBI? I come off the trail to take a piss. No law against it.
There may be, actually, but let's leave that for now.
Right.
What kind of dog do you have?
Retriever.
And he didn't sniff it out first?
Took care of my business. I collected my dog and I went to the police.
Right away, a few hours later, next day...
Actually, morning when you came in, sir.
Talking to the FBI, Mr. Moran, if we want to find something out, we will find it out.
Wife talked me out of that. I did my duty as a citizen.
You thought they'd want you for a murder.
Got a bit of a record, all right? It ain't much. I lit up a few fires when I was a kid, got into a few fights.
Before that, did you move around a lot?
I seen Beverly Jean a few times.
You saw Beverly Jean at a bar?
At the Kettle. I heard her drink.
With your wife.
She wasn't interested. End of story.
More than once that night at the bar, or on more than one occasion?
I guess you'd say on more than one occasion.
A drifter until just recently. Beverly Jean rejected him.
A man like that took Beverly Jean. He'd draw it out, make her suffer. And you're married. It's a contract. There's children. A mortgage. You can't quit. She can't fire you unless you want to bring on the lawyers and open Pandora's box. Resentment builds on both sides. Alvin Moran had a married man's anger. He'd have tortured that girl and then killed her.
Maybe we should talk to his wife. See if there's anything there.
Mrs. Moran, thank you for coming in. My name is Bill Tench. This is my partner, Holden.
Can't look at that. Poor girl.
Can we ask how you knew her?
She was almost our babysitter.
Almost.
Alvin wouldn't shut up about the girl. Oh, such pretty blonde hair. Didn't need that in my house.
Your husband made overtures to Beverly on several occasions.
Didn't I just say he had a thing for the poor girl? It's like sport fishing. He doesn't mean anything by it. You think Alvin did this? The idiot was with me.
The whole night.
The whole night.
Any of the anger you've been talking about.
So lo and behold, we're back to the fiancé.
Can't say how much I appreciate all your help. Sorry if I got off a little shaky there at the start.
You're in the middle of an ongoing investigation.
A local detective asked for our help. What else could we do?
Assumption is that you're good at your job, which means that you're going to be more focused on solving an actual crime than the theoretical work we're doing. But in the long run, I think that our project could have a deeper impact than solving a single murder.
We can do both.
He seems aware of the trap of his childhood. How things might be different if he was allowed to stay with his dad.
I mean, it's self-pity, absolutely, and the psychopath understands how that plays to his audience.
Exactly.
To be seen to have power over someone, and yet circumstance demands that they erase the only witness, do the whole thing over again. It must be hell. Do Kemper and Rissell have other common traits?
Is that what you're doing with these cards?
He's like a general, planning his campaigns. But Rissell
didn't even intend to kill his first victim.
You say systematic and anti-systematic?
Maybe something a little less...
organized and disorganized.
There's organized crime, disorganized crime.
High intelligence would go under organized.
Low intelligence, disorganized.
This is great, but he's a little obsessed with the meaning of shit.
Does shit have meaning?
All shit has meaning, man.
Wendy's more... not that.
Look at you.
Would I have invited her to go out with us if I was interested in her?
I've seen men do stranger things.
I don't think she is married.
That's her.
Then I'm getting married? Having kids? The whole thing? Your parents have a good marriage?
I have no idea. Where's this coming from?
A study.
That's definitely her.
Wendy Carr. Deborah Mitford. Pleasure.
That's her.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Postgrad, actually. Sociology at UVA.
What's your concentration?
Social deviance.
So, Durkheim.
Yes.
I'm not intimidated being around women who are smarter than me.
Men often say that, but they rarely mean it.
He has a lot of flaws, but surprisingly, that's not one of them.
No, Andrea called. Said he wanted to meet with us.
Any idea what this is about?
But he asked for me specifically.
All three of us.
Dr. Carr, Unit Chief Shepard, nice to meet you, finally.
So, how's everything? Progressing? Is there anything I need to know?
Sir, if this is about the car...
Nobody cares about the car, Bill. It was insured and I assume driven by your protege. I'm aware of your consulting with Bill over the years and your help framing certain psychological concepts with the BSU. You might think it is my job to impede your progress with my insistence on timelines. Not my job. My job is to provide guidance and quite a bit of protection. You have stepped outside the shade of my umbrella and you are now exposed to direct sunlight. Law Enforcement Assistance Administration was already aware of our needs and activities.
I see. I had no intention of embarrassing you.
The LEAA explained that the application was anticipated. How could that be, I wonder?
So apologize.
Sir, this is my fault.
Your research has been awarded $200,000. The NIJ has awarded you an additional $185,000.
You can't be serious.
We're talking about Congress having a real interest in everything we do. Congratulations, I suppose. Have a nice day.
Well, oh, I like that. So I have to say something, guys. This actually was one of the first episodes of this show that I could tell you from start to finish, I was never bored. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I was so intrigued. In all the other episodes that I started watching the show and giving you guys my honest reaction, there was parts of it where I had to edit out. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm a blunt reactor. But there was parts of that I would have to edit out. The first episode I did not really care for that much. I was completely lost. I had no idea what they were saying. They talked very fast, kind of like this, and I couldn't keep up with what they were saying because I was like, oh my god, what are you doing? That's what they were doing, and I was like, pump the brakes. The second and third episode were both even with me because I really did like meeting this killer guy, as weird as it does sound, and diving into his life and how he was interacting with the cops, and I really was fascinated. As you guys heard, I believe in the first episode of this show, I did state I love psychology. I think it is fascinating to find out or figure out or listen, watch, and see how other people behave and interact with other people, and this is obviously part of that whole atmosphere. I wasn't sure in the first episode I was going to really enjoy this show because it seemed very complex to me, and I'm a very straight, basic type boy, so I'm a typical boy, but yes, so yeah, I just wasn't sure. This episode grabbed my attention. It brought me all the way in from trying to figure out who this guy is with the glasses in the beginning of this episode to diving into this killer who was raping and killing these women, and then trying to also solve this other murder. And I hope that they do go back and continue on with that murder to try to wrap that up, because there was another episode in this season that we never got a conclusion of it. I think like there was 2 murders that we kind of just moved right past. We solved only 1. So I'm hoping that we still continue to figure out what's going on over here because I'm very, very interested in it. But overall, this episode, first of all, I can also see the budget. The budget of this show is very high. I can see it in this episode. But in this episode, I would give it a 10 out of 10. It was dramatic. It was breathtaking. And I did not see a sex scene, which I was actually very excited for. Holden, you are gorgeous, but you're not having sex with me, so I don't want to watch it. Told ya, I'm blessed. But overall, this, like I said, it was a 10 out of 10, and I really can't wait to continue on the journey of Mindhunters. Guys, please share and like this video. Once again, it does wonders for the channel. It also brings new viewers here on this channel where they will be able to do what, guys? I need you all to comment down below. The more you guys comment, the more you interact, like, and share this video, the quicker and more episodes we get to see of this fabulous show. And I will see you all next time with more Mindhunters.